Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I've been to the Dollar Tree and you can see I made quite a haul. I wanted some foods that could last in the pantry for 2 to 3 years, and then I also even found a few items that can go into the longest long-term food storage, foods that can last the longest for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You always want to vary the foods that you're buying. It's great to have all the freshest foods possible, but if you go to the store one day and none of those foods are available, you need to have something to fall back on. And so that's where it's nice to have a variety of different types of foods that can store in your prepper pantry and that will last longer, so that should there be any kind of an emergency, whether it's just to you personally, your family, your community, or global like this pandemic, that you'll still have enough to eat. Food items that I bought were some Hungry Jack potatoes. These should not be stored right in the box because critters can chew through the box. If anything leaks, it can contaminate the food inside it. So what I like to do is empty the boxes into clean jars, like canning jars. Put on an airtight lid. If they have a sauce packet, put that in there too. If it's a small packet, you can always put all of it into, say, a small Ziploc bag and store perhaps 2 of them into the jar, depending on how much is in your package. It's hard to tell. They vary according to the shape of the foods that are in them. Another thing they had I haven't seen in a long time, the Hungry Jack dehydrated hash browns. I've not seen these in a long time, and if you've never used these, you should get some and try them. There are 5 servings of hash brown potatoes. It's real potatoes that are dehydrated in this package. These also store great long term. You can store them also into an airtight container, into a jar, pour them in, and that will keep the air out better than a cardboard box. But you might want to pay attention to what the servings are, so that if you wanted to rehydrate them, put the directions with it so that you remember how to do it. All of the foods that you would repackage, cut out that part of the package and slide it in the jar with your food, or tape it on the front if you are unsure of how you would like to use them later. I found a fudge brownie mix that just takes oil and eggs, so I'm looking forward to making that when my little kiddos are here. I added to my spices and seasonings because I found chives and I haven't seen those in a long time. So these are going into my prepper spice and seasoning storage. I bought an extra jar of sweet pickles. These are good to chop up and put in with your tuna. And I got a small container of mayonnaise. I hadn't seen these little ones before. So I of course only bought one. And I was reading on the date, and there was a regular mayonnaise by this brand, and they were all set to expire within a couple of weeks. This one has a whole year shelf life still on it. So it's nice to have a small size, because I like to sometimes put together Ziploc bags with shelf meals, and I'll put all the ingredients together in a Ziploc bag and set it in the pantry, and then anytime you want something to eat, you can just go and pull out one of those bags, and all of the things you need are together to make a meal for your family. So something like this is a nice size. So if you have recipes that you like to make that include mayonnaise and you're not sure if you'll always have the electricity to have it, look for some of these little ones so that you can then have a small amount, and if you can't refrigerate the rest of it, it's not as big of a waste as if you only have a jumbo size. Coffee for the long-term food storage. If you want coffee that lasts the longest, you want to look for the instant freeze-dried coffee, because instant coffee is the only one that's actually going to last like forever. And if you're a coffee drinker, it's something to consider. We'd like to have the foods that we want always, and we would love them to be able to set them aside and get them whenever we want, but they have to be rotated because foods just don't all last as long as beans and rice. They did have beans and rice. They also had popcorn and lentils, and these are both also long-term food storage items. You can pour them into a jar and put on a tight-fitting lid, and they can last for decades. I picked up some apple cider vinegar. This one says that it has the mother in it, which would make it the healthful vinegar. It may not be exactly the same as, say, the very expensive brand of vinegar that we find, but it's a good idea to have a variety of things like vinegar in your prepper pantry, because vinegar is something that's going to last nearly forever, especially if it has the mother in it. Then if you ever find that little lump in the bottom. Never throw it away. That is the actual mother. I made a video a long time ago when I found the big lump in the bottom of a bottle of vinegar one time. And I'll put a link to that video if you want to see how you can take your mother and turn it into more vinegar that you can make yourself. Stockpiling food isn't enough. Sometimes you need the accessories that go with your food. They had the cling wrap, which I haven't seen for a long time, so it was nice to pick some of that up. They also had 5 jumbo-sized Ziploc bags. These are great for making the shelf meals that I was talking about. If you have something that requires more food for, say, a bigger family, a larger meal, then a gallon-sized Ziploc isn't always big enough. 5 big shelf meals could fit into this one. It's also great for lots of other things that you might want to store. There are lots of reasons why we might need a jumbo-size Ziploc bag, so check it out. See if you can find some and add it to your stockpile. This was the haul I got at the Dollar Tree. I was glad I could find a variety of things at a good price. Be on the lookout, and when you notice things that are getting in shorter supply, think of it something that you need. Make sure you're buying things that are making your life better every single day. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.